Hello and welcome to the show this week. I am Night Demon, and I am joined every week by Peroty and Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life. They're not here at the moment because they haven't turned up yet, so I thought I'd do the intros, run the titles, and then when we get here, they can just talk about Destiny. So let's get into it.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Night Demon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Rager, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
And just likes messing with people, in my opinion. I could be wrong, though.
You could be wrong.
No, that doesn't sound right. Hunter wrong? Come on. The collective of dark clothed hunters all playing PvP? No.
Well, apparently there's going to be a lot more slightly whiter clad hunters, and I'm just like...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the playbook it says you can either have all the colors or none of the colors, but it's when you get in the middle there somewhere, that's Titan territory.
Yeah.
If all the rest of the crayons in the box, that's ours. You just get those two. That's it, though.
What was it that... Peroty said something real clever in the Discord, because I was like... He said, somebody posted a meme, said, yo, Peroty, I think this is for you. And it had somebody that made a blue sword and somebody that made a pink sword, and each sword did something different. And then it showed a knight clad in pink. Well, first it showed a princess saying, why does all of our weapons have to be pink, right? And then it showed a knight clad in pink armor with the blue sword going, do you want to trade? Right?
No. I'll take that if you like.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, fair enough, but, all black does better DPS. And then Peroty said something about, like, that's because you take all the colors and you mix them together, and then because you, I don't know. So, it was clever at the time, but my brain is broken and I can't remember. But he explained it like, oh, yeah, because we only have the one color out of the box, and you take all the colors, you mix them together, and that's why you get more DPS. But, some nonsense.
Yeah, I just said color coordination aids DPS.
Yeah.
And you were like, black does more. And I was like, well, black's all the colors, so of course they would. You just smash all the colors down, you melt them down, then you got one single color. I mean, this is based on my Hunter fashion observations. You can always pick them out because they get the best dressed in the Crucible matches because they all look the same. So you can't tell which Hunter was which. You're just like, I'll give it to one of the Hunters dressed in black. That'll cover all of them.
I feel like that's racist, but also I have no soapbox to stand on, so I'm going to let that one slide.
Go play Iron Banner. Every single match.
Did it start this week?
It did.
Gotcha.
So, have you guys played much Destiny this week, or is it going to be one of those weeks where I've played and maybe a little bit from Peroty and none from Respawn?
Respawn has been bedridden most of the week. By most of the week, I mean...
We don't need to know about your private life.
Out of bed.
Have you played Destiny? We don't need to know any of those saucy details, you little minx, you.
You can play it from bed.
I wish it was saucy. No, it's been more CDC, less saucy.
He did turn up, Peroty, and he said, I'm really interested to hear all the new stuff, which says to me that he's not participating. He's going to be a listener for the rest of the show. And you and me are going to have to explain to the listeners and to him how stuff's going to be changing and the stuff in Heresy. And he's just going to be getting confused and then shouting and going, oh, okay, yeah, now I understand.
Yeah, because the things that I read for a little bit, I was really confused at first because everything that I was seeing, they kept talking about how Destiny, Heresy, and I thought that people were upset and they were saying Destiny committed Heresy, because you know how people get upset. I was like, oh god, what does Destiny do now?
How long has it been? How long have we been talking about the new?
I'm going to send Donnie around to your house.
Okay, so
I'm going to put that orange-clad fanatic on a plane, send him to your house, and have him hold your hand and speak very slowly and calmly what the words are that you need to know about Destiny. There's probably like a dozen words. We're just have him teach them to you, and then you'll remember, and then we'll all be good.
Right.
No, you know this isn't going to be the case. Don't sit there and say no.
But what I'm saying is, look, my brain isn't working. I mean, less than usual because I have lack of sleep and just I'm not having fun right now. Okay, so
you didn't play anything. Peroty, did you play some this week?
I'm pretty sure I'm the best Crucible player in the world right now because I'm pretty sure everybody else left. Like I was looking at when it actually does load the list of people before the matches in Iron Banner. I was like, well, let me just scroll around and see what just what the KDs are. Yeah. Let me see how many 2-0 or 3-0 or 4-0s are in this lobby. And I think there was like one guy who at the end of the match was at the bottom of our leaderboard, and I'm like, sir, either why are you here? We have expectations. You show up to work. You don't need to give 100%, but if you just give like 80, you would wipe the floor with us if your KD is actually your KD. And then I played a couple matches last night with people that straight up had a 0-0 KD, like in blue gear, like they are kindergartens in Iron Banner. So that was fun. So I've seen people who have been here for 1,000 years and people who started yesterday. But Iron Banner, now I'll preface this by saying Iron Banner Eruption, I didn't go into control. I was like, I'm going to play Eruption. Because I'm pretty sure that's where all the really high skill tryhards
blown up.
Yes.
If you have okay.
Yep, and I got blown up a number of times, which is now why I'm the best player in there. Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to stay in Eruption because I know everybody hates it. So if I just stay there, I will probably have a better time, and I did. I think we mercied the other team one time, and we got mercied once, like back to back. It was like, oh, you mercied a team, we're gonna break those teams up, and now we're gonna mercy you just to bring balance to the force. Yeah. But then the rest of the matches were actually competitive. Like we're actually close. It actually felt like we were fighting each other, and not just, oh, I'm here and now I'm dead, and now that man is halfway across the map. Now the connection quality wasn't always the best. There were some people definitely just jittering and jumping all around. It was usually just like one person, at least on my team, like one person or so a match where they were just here. Like it was like they were playing on dial-up. They were just like, being tracked every 6 seconds or something. Yeah. But the rest of the connectivity, like everybody I was fighting seemed to be fine. Like, I didn't notice a lot of, hey, I shot you and now you're behind me and now I'm dead. So it was one of the better Iron Banner experiences I've had, honestly.
That says a lot.
So how was your Iron Banner, Demon?
Oh, it's been good. I started on my Warlock and I thought, I just went in with the normal guns and things, and I found out very quickly that, the mode is Eruption, and I need to change my thinking of playing Eruption. After I changed my my weapons and how I was playing, I was doing really well. So I was really pleased with myself. Pleased as punch.
But wait, I thought Peroty just said that you could pick Eruption or Control.
Nope, Peroty gets that wrong.
No.
Peroty got that wrong.
No, it was there.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Unless they broke it. I clicked the thing and it said it gave me a drop down. It gave me an option.
Really?
Fight. Mom and Dad are fighting. Mom and Dad are fighting.
I'm pretty sure I hit that Eruption and it gave me a drop down. You could do Eruption or you could do Control.
That hasn't been a thing for a whole couple of seasons.
Uh-oh.
So it's obviously something they're not talking about.
I'm not saying that somebody pushed code that they shouldn't have or that didn't push code that they should have.
I think you are.
I mean, I could be crazy.
To check.
Either one of you logged in?
And check.
I'm loading this Xbox via the Xbox application on this Windows 10 computer at the moment because I didn't select Control, but I saw that there was a drop down and Control was words that I were able to read on that drop down.
That is so strange because they haven't talked about that, because when we moved to the 2-week Iron Banners, they said that we were going to go with one mode 1 week and another mode the next week, and that drop down box wasn't going to be there because it split the player base. So for last episode Echoes and Revenant, it's just the one game mode, because the first week we had, I believe it was Control the first week, and then we had the Supremacy game mode, which I'm now forgetting the name of, for Iron Banner. help me out? No?
All I can think of is Supremacy, and I'm struggling with it as well. It's just
Tribute. Iron Banner Tribute. So Iron Banner Tribute was the second week, and then we should have Eruption this week, and then next week should be Fortress, and there shouldn't be any drop-down box because that's what they said. But I did see a tweet. Somebody tweeted out, and I will go and find it, because somebody was asking about the Iron Banner being this 2-week event, and Bungie actually replied to them and said that they're not going to be doing that going forward. And if I find...
Well, Bungie said that because they said they're getting a lot of feedback about people not liking it. You got to give the whole story, okay?
Well,
Bungie didn't just come out and say, oh, we're not doing it anymore. Bungie said they're not doing it because they got negative feedback about it being 2 weeks long.
Oh, yeah. So it was Steve Huffman over on X on January 10th. So we missed that last week. Said that they and Destiny 2 teams replied with that they're going back to 1 week runs for next episode, which I like, but a lot of people don't like. Have we got any updates yet?
Yeah, I'm logging in now.
We are verifying content. I mean, my suspicion is Eruption will always have a second option because so many people hate Eruption.
The hell is this?
Which is why I was sitting there going, I'm going to stay in Eruption, because of the 90,000 people on Steam still playing, I'm not going to see any of them. But of the 12,000 people on Xbox and PlayStation, I'm not going to see any of the good ones.
Peroty's
so I'm
right.
good. I'm happy where I am.
Night Demon.
No way.
Peroty was right.
You click on Eruption and it gives you the option to pick Eruption or Control.
Do me a favor and pick Control to see what happens. I'm quite interested.
Control. Yeah.
One for me, 740,000 to you. I'm catching up.
That is so bad. That is so bad that they've done that.
Is it though? Because I'm sure everyone looked at Eruption and said, ew, and then ran away, which was my plan, to be good at Eruption for a week.
But again, it makes no sense because there's been no communication about that.
I'd say no communication about that makes perfect sense.
Okay, I mean, going along the Bungie lines of communication, no communication makes sense. A bit like the upcoming event that we've got that was data mined, that was going to be at the end of this episode, but then Bungie haven't said anything about it until this week's TWAB, and it's like, hey, something's happening next week, and it's like, why? Because it's the shorter kind of episode that you're giving us. We've only got like a couple of weeks, and we're jumping into Heresy, as Respawn was saying.
Because they want to distract us from having to run the shotgun mission 1,000 times for a shotgun that you're going to like for the first week and then never touch again. And they're going to go, here, look, things, stuff.
Shiny objects.
Please remember we exist. Come back. We miss you. Yeah, no, it does seem just like a random throwing up against the wall of, here's things you can do. Yeah, and?
But I feel that they could have waited, because that could have been a 3 or 4 week event at the end of Heresy to give them maybe an extra week or an extra couple of weeks for the push for the Frontiers stuff. Or if they had to delay Frontiers, it could be something that could kind of go in between, a bit like we had with the Into the Light stuff last year. They could have given us another Pantheon with updated Onslaught and this event, and said, go and play this event and you will get stuff. But hey ho.
Yeah, like the number of tweets and things I've seen about the Game2Give is probably 10 times what I've seen about this new event that's coming that has basically no details other than we're going to give you some tokens. Like, it sounds exactly like the last thing with Riven. Is like, here's some tokens, use them wisely. You get 8 of them per account. Good luck, have fun. What are you doing? Can't tell you.
Yeah.
Like, is there a reason to keep this all secret? To be like, hey guys, dropping this, dropping secrets on us. You think maybe this point you want to tell us things to maybe get us excited, to maybe bring people back, and not be like, hey, they did this thing. When was it? Oh, it was last week. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I did look in the database to see if there was any more information, but I couldn't find anything on light.gg apart from an icon for it, and that was about it. But I played this week. Stupidly, I know I was telling Pony last week to make sure that I was trying to make sure that I'd done all my fieldwork stuff on my characters. And I'd already picked up the 2 fieldwork on my Titan, and I'd done 1 on my Warlock, but I hadn't gone back and picked up the last fieldwork that I needed to do for the whole thing. And stupidly, I logged on this week and I thought, I'm just going to get that fieldwork done and out of the way. Completed it on my Titan. Then realised when I went back, I wasn't able to pick up the last fieldwork because I'd completed those fieldworks. So I then had to go through and start creating more tonics and unlocking more tonics. So I then had to go and look for another video on which tonic button do I need to push to unlock the ones that I'm missing. So I looked at 360 Gaming TV, which had one that I was kind of missing. So I was like, oh, geez. And it meant that I had to run, I think it was the Tomb of Elders, Contest of Elders stuff. And then I'm still missing some from Onslaught because I'm missing some of the Onslaught ingredients. So I was like, oh, Jesus. So I did a little bit of that this week before I went and played Iron Banner. So I think I'm up to like 74 of the tonics now created. So I just need to go and do a couple more runs of the Prison of Elders. Well, no, not Prison of Elders, Onslaught. And then I can then craft those potions, tonics, tinctures, as Respawn likes to say, and get that done and dusted and out of the way, all that field work. And I think the only thing that I need to do for this episode is do a flawless run of the longer version of the Prison of Elders. That's the only thing that I need to do. And I was doing quite well this week. I think I got halfway through before you got to that kind of tormentor room, the one that looks like a pyramid ship inside. That with all the flying bats, it was like, right, no, all of us are going to target you. All 20 of these bats are just going to go for you. I was like, damn it. And the two other guys were doing quite well because they hadn't died yet either. And we were doing all the tasks, the warden was so impressed with us. But then in that room, I think we all went down. So it was like, oh. So
I was thinking if there was any room that would have ruined it, it would be that room. Because sometimes it just goes, you can do whatever you want. We're going to kill you.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Even the hive room I can survive in. But that room, it went, no, we are flying bats and we're just going to come and we're going to send one of those tangle people would stand behind you. Like they weren't there just 2 seconds ago. They just appeared. So.
Oh yeah. No, they're like, we're going to appear. We're going to, move you across the world, move you from here to there. And now you live in this hole over here or in the loving arms of, Psylocke the Defiled.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's where they just spawn in out of nowhere.
I didn't do because I didn't do the new Kell's Vengeance mission, which is 2 to 3 players because there was no one else on at that time. But it looks like you have to have a pre-made fire team to kind of get into that to start off with because you click on it and it won't let you matchmake. But it's like I think it's a 2040 version of the Prison of Elders. And I have seen a couple of cheeses of the boss, which I can link in the show notes. I think that's all I watched this week is a couple of videos from Cheese Forever about cheesing the boss. You finally get to take down, what's he saying? Scolas. Is it Scolas?
Ooh. Thick roll, Scolas. I mean, pick a person.
I think so. I think that's the one. If you click on it, I think it is. But it's a much harder version of the Prison of Elders. And I think it is, again, because I haven't been able to get in and play it, I think you have to do like a full run and then take him down at the end. But apparently a Bubble Titan is the best. You can't, you haven't played, you're not allowed to interject.
First of all, neither of you, so shut up. You just said you can get in. Okay. And the other thing I was going to get in there is going to say is the people are creating a whole bunch of hubbub about that because they're saying, yes, this is a very difficult thing that's supposed to be, quote, end game level. Yeah. And the prize for this wonderful activity at the end
is a pat on the back.
I mean, basically, it's a pat on the back. You get an exotic ship. That is it. And it is, you have to go in as a fire team. You have no option to go in solo. It will not let you go in solo.
No,
you have to have a fire team. And
Esoteric was very sad about it. Yeah, Esoteric, Noble's favorite streamer because he doesn't, or YouTuber because he doesn't speak. Was just like, here's the thing. I'm not going to do it because, it's just me. So that's the thing you can do now. So my advice, go find one friend, do Dual Destiny if you haven't done it. Go find a second friend, and then do this thing. and then you can have it done. And then you win? ?
I mean, if you find a friend, you've already won at life.
Mm-hmm. It's all about the friends you made along the way.
Yeah. So that's been my Destiny experience this week. And then I'd done most of the This Week in Destiny video for this upcoming week. And then they go and drop the TWAB on us and go, hey, guess what? That event that we've been not talking about, that's coming next week. So you've got to go back, re-edit your video, and add this stuff in to tell people about. So
that's exactly what they said too. They were like, now that you've finished all your materials, do it again.
Yep. So I had to go back. I've had to create some artwork for it because there is no artwork for it. So yeah, but I'll drop that in now so that you know what we're going to be talking about later on in the show.
Ooh.
This is your weekly rundown of episode Revenant, week 16, starting on January 21st. Before we get started this week, let's kick things off with some reminders for the end of episode Revenant, which comes to a close in the next couple of weeks. So, here is your reminder to start collecting all of your episode Revenant pass items, any past episode Echoes reward track items from Bungie.net, plus your reward track items and engrams from the Gunsmith, Zavala, Shax, Rahul, Zer, Hawthorne, Drifter, and Saint 14 before the end of the episode. Plus, you can get a leg up on XP and artifact progression for the next episode by hoarding the bounties that are still available, and finish up those seasonal challenges for your large pile of bright dust. Also, if you haven't already, it's worth dropping in to see the Gunsmith, as he has a curated set of weapons available, which could be going away at the end of the episode. Starting this week and running to the end of the episode on the 3rd of February will be a new event called the Past Is Prologue. Up for grabs will be the full selection of mementos, along with Spores of Conquest, exotic ciphers, Ascendant alloys, and Ascendant shards. You could also choose from a selection of weapons, from Trials of Osiris, the Solar Aggressive Frame Hand Cannon Igneous Hammer Adept, and the Strand Adaptive Frame Grenade Launcher Cataphract GL3 Adept, from the Grandmaster Nightfalls, the Arc Rapid Fire Frame Pulse Rifle Horus Least Adept, from the Crucible, the Stasis Rapid Fire Frame Fusion Rifle Riptide, and the Exotic Sniper Cloud Strike, or class-specific Artifice Armor. Visit the Drifter in the Tower Annex to pick up quests that will reward a special currency called Bento Tokens. These tokens can be exchanged for the rewards over at Eris Morn on the Moon. Throughout the event, you'll have a chance to earn a total of 8 Bento Tokens, so spend wisely and make them count. And once you've turned in 5 Bento Tokens, you will gain access to the returning Destiny 1 shader, Chatterwhite. Week 16 sees the second consecutive week of the Crucible game mode, Iron Banner. This is normally a week-long free-to-play Crucible event, but Bungie have decided to make it a 2-week event, which means there will be no Trials of Osiris at the weekend. For the second weekly featured Iron Banner mode will be Fortress. If you need a refresh or just want to know more about the Iron Banner, then check out our most recent guide. Our new weapon is the Stasis Rocket Assisted Frame Sidearm, Tinashu's Mastery, and returning weapon is the Stasis High Impact Frame Machine Gun, Archon's Thunder, which has changed from its previous iteration as Solar to be Stasis. This episode brings with a brand new armor set called the Iron Intent set, a new emblem called Canis Lupus, and a new shader called Cruel Patina. Plus, this episode sees our first Iron Banner memento, which you can put into your crafted weapons to gain access to the shader Iron Banner Keepsake, and title of Siva's Bane. Also, as this is the final week of the Iron Banner for this episode, don't forget to collect all of your reward track items and engrams before the reset on the 28th, as Lord Saladin will be reset for the next episode. For a weekly pinnacle reward, Act 3 of episode Revenant brought with it the new exotic mission Kell's Fall, where you can earn the new Void exotic shotgun Slayer's Fang, and new Prison of Elders challenge Kell's Vengeance, which can be found over in the Last City for 2 to 3 players. Act 2 of episode Revenant brought with it the Tomb of Elders, and Contest of Elders over in the Last City, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of Act 2. Also available for a weekly pinnacle is the Salvation Jade Raid, over in the Pale Heart, and new dungeon Vesper's Host, which can be found over on Europa, with the exotic sniper rifle Icebreaker up for grabs. And as a reminder, the Grandmaster Nightfall catch-up node is available, giving Guardians the opportunity to complete their Conquest Seal for this episode. Also, with this node being available, this will give Guardians the opportunity to jump ahead and complete the rest of Act 3's Nightfalls, these being the Corrupted on the Dreaming City on week 17, January 28th, 2025, or conversely be able to complete the Grandmasters which are now not available, Lightblade on the Throne World, Proving Grounds on Nessus, Heist Battlegrounds Moon, Battlegrounds Behemoth on Nessus, Arm Stealer on the EDZ, Birthplace of the Vile on the Throne World, and the Inverted Spire on Nessus. Over in the Last City we have Onslaught Salvation, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of the opening act of Revenant. This new version of Onslaught brings with it new defences, 3 new maps, and new enemies to fight. You can select from Widow's Court, Eventide Ruins, and Kell's Grave, either normal or expert.
Also, the original Onslaught has been updated to include some of the new additions. Located in the Vanguard playlist, the featured Onslaught map this week will be Midtown, with the Field Razor Tormentor kicking off the boss rotation. In the last city on the Helm, the exotic mission Encore is still available, with 2 difficulty options, Normal and Expert. Also, from episode Echoes, we have the 3 new battleground activities, Delve, Conduit and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach Executable. The Expert battlegrounds will start this week's rotation with Delve. The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Pet Revenge can be found in Ria Silvia and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Taken Enemies and the Plague Oinamina. The Ascendant Challenge will be the Keep of Honed Edges over in the Harbinger Seclude. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Hawkis in the Anchor of Light. Nightmare hunts Scolas, Pride, Fanatic, Insanity, and Omnigul Anguish. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Fogoth and the Blasphemer Shotgun. On Europa this week, Praxisi Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Dares of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Hive, Vex, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Pathfinder armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 4. Fractithis, Chrysia Milo, Volpicula, Wolftone Draw, Iotona Draconis, Canis Major, Contingency Plan, Legal Action 2, Outrageous Fortune, Steel Syllabus C14, and Spoiler Alert. The Witch Queen Weekly Story mission is The Communion, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Attack, with the Arc Auto Rifle Come to Pass and Goldmag Hive Ogre as the boss. The Lightfall Weekly mission is Desperate Measures, the Partition mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex Incursion will be Liming Harbour. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The Final Shakes Cooperative Focus campaign mission this week will be Ascent. The 12 Guardian Matchmade Excision mission is also available next to the race for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Salvation Judge Raid Challenge this week is the first encounter Substranum called Scenic Route. The Root of Nightmares Raid Challenge this week is the 4th encounter Nezarec called All Hands. The Kingsfall Raid Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter Golgoroth called Gaze Amaze. The Vow the Disciple Challenge this week is the 1st encounter Acquisition called Swift Destruction. The Deepstone Crypt Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter Tanix Part 1 called Of All Trades. The Garden of Salvation Challenge this week is the 1st encounter Embrace called To the Top. And the Last Wish Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter Morgoth called Forever Fight. Featured Pinnacle Raid 1 will be Crota's End over in the Legends tab. And Featured Pinnacle Raid 2 will be the Vault of Glass also in the Legends tab, with all challenges available for all encounters. With the exotic auto rifle Necrochasm being farmable from the final boss in Crota's End, and the exotic fusion rifle Vex Myth class from the final boss in Vault. Featured Pinnacle Dungeon 1 will be the Grasp of Avarice over on the Cosmodrome. And Featured Pinnacle Dungeon 2 will be the Warlord's Ruin over on the EDC. The exotic mission rotator will be Starcross over in the Legends tab, with the Wishkeeper exotic bow being the main reward, and the Season the Wish weapon set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and Zero Hour, will also be available in the Legends tab. We have now had all of the episode Revenant challenges over the first 15 weeks of the episode. So, as a reminder, if you complete enough of them, you can get a large pile of Bright Dust to spend at the FFS store in-game. Last sectors, Tuesday the Quarry on the EDZ, Wednesday Excavation Site 12 on the EDZ, Thursday the Broken Deep in the Pale Heart, Friday the Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart, Saturday the Forgotten Deep in the Pale Heart, Sunday Extraction on the Throne World, and Monday Sepulture on the Throne World. Our 16th feature, Nightfall, will see us face off against Cataxia, Tormentor of the Ahamkara in the Liminality over in the Pale Heart, with the Slammer Sword as the featured adept weapon. The 6v6 playlist will be Iron Banner Fortress. Team Scorch should be in the Party Relentless playlist, Elimination in the 3v3 playlist, and no Trials of Osiris at the weekend. This week should also see another week of bonus Crucible ranks available all week long. Still available is the Destiny 10th Anniversary in-game celebration event, and don't forget to keep an eye on Zer this Friday at Reset to see if he's offering another chance to grab a random rolled exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the 16th week of the Final Shape episode Revenant.
I want to know why the Gambit is associated with bento boxes, though. Right? I don't see the Drifter really being Japanese.
The Drifter, he just loves sushi, okay? The Drifter just loves sushi. Let him eat what he wants.
Look, it's going to be...
The Drifter loves food in general because what he's been through, to be fair, right? Yeah. But
sushi's a food.
Sure.
Listen, we had to do all that fishing for a reason. You know where all those fish is going? Right to the bento boxes. See?
It comes full circle.
It's all in the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
You fish, they take the fish away, then the bento boxes show up. But only 8 of them, so apparently we didn't fish that much.
Or they're really, really premium bento boxes.
Well, they are. They get you free adepts. Why play hard game if they're just going to hand you a free adept?
Yeah.
Or
Night Demon was already
Mementos?
fighting with somebody in our Discord about that too. It's
What was
like I said, you were already fighting with somebody in the Discord about that because Noble, how he doesn't like the fact that the game is taking away from things like Nightfalls and whatnot, like with instances like this, and you're just like, look, go do the event, get your free thing, and just shush, just enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, there's people like Noble, and there's people that like Noble that's like you're taking the end game away from the end game, and then you have people like Peroty that's just like, wait long enough, and the end game comes to you.
Yeah, we have end game at home.
That's right.
I thought that was funny. It's like, hey, we're gonna hand you this random smattering of weapons. Some of them are adepts and mementos, just in case you've gotten all of those. I guess to give you something to enjoy. Assuming anyone knows this event is happening or comes back to play it or plays it at all, since we still don't know what we're going to be doing. Or is it mission based? Is it activity based? Is it just go do a thing and come back and turn these in? Like,
well, let's go through the TWAB and then we can try and work it out for the people, shall we?
We can guess as well as they can. Yeah.
Okay. So this week at Bungie for the 16th of January 2025, they've got a lot to go over. So that's given us a lot to go over this week. So topics for this week are the dungeon race details, because we've got a new dungeon coming next episode. We've got the Heresy ability update, the Past Is Prologue event, the Fest of the Lost Armor winners, Game2Give 2025, #D2 fashion feedback updates, and new emblems for Scorgan Movie of the Week entries. Now, the Scorgan Movie of the Week entries, did we miss that last week?
I'm going to guess they just didn't tell us, because that feels like they just didn't tell us.
I feel that I need to go and check this, because we normally go over everything and they normally say, send in your movies of the week for X, Y, and Z. And if we're going to do something special, no, there's nothing. So
no mention MOTW.
When you got to remember that they fired like everyone, Night Demon.
Yeah, but there's somebody writing the TWABs.
Is there?
I think so.
I mean, there is. Yeah,
it's called ChatGPT.
No, ChatGPT wouldn't do nearly a competent job as a human. Yeah, so movie of the week entries that maybe they talked about on social somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I've got to apologize. You've got to apologize. We missed that. We're sorry.
We apologize. We apologize for nothing.
Okay.
We are merely the talking head to bring you the thing that they tell us. So if they're just not going to tell us, like, I don't know, this whole new Past Is Prologue event coming, we're going to do our best. When they're going to be like, hey guys, remember we're doing Bungie Bingo. Remember that's the thing that's coming up. When does that happen? Oh, it was 2 weeks ago. Hey guys, be ready for this thing. It's coming. It's running on Wednesday. When did you tell us? Oh, you told us on Thursday. Well, days work in a certain fashion. If you don't tell us beforehand, we're not going to know. And realistically, if you don't tell me beforehand, and it's after the Saturday morning, I'm not going to know, because I'll read it on Thursday. But I'm gonna gloss over it. Let's be honest. Unless you show me shiny things that I care about, I'm gonna be like, yep, that sounds like a Saturday problem to me. Because Saturday is TWAB day.
The way that they always do this, it almost makes it seem like they don't understand how time works. And if you don't understand that time works in a linear fashion, that means you don't live in a linear timeline. So does that mean that all the employees at Bungie either A, are fourth or fifth dimensional beings, or B, have access to a time machine and linear time has no meaning to them?
No, because I think if they had access to a time machine, they'd be able to see what was coming.
They tell us, but they don't have time to explain what they don't have time to explain.
That should be their motto, really. They should change their motto.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of that per astium ad thingy that Bife says, yeah, I don't have time to tell you what I don't have time to tell you. That's it.
It's basically Fight Club, but wordier.
What they do have time to tell us is that we've got the Sundered Doctrine dungeon race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Heresy is right around the corner, and it should begin on the 4th of February, Tuesday the 4th of February. And then on the Friday of that week, we're getting the new dungeon. And we've got to travel to Savathun's Throwworld and infiltrate Rourke's Pyramid once again in the new dungeon, Sundered Doctrine. And to celebrate the launch, they're issuing you a challenge. You respawn, and your top fire team. So as they did with the Vespers host, the Sundered Doctrine will have contest mode enabled for the first 48 hours, providing the most difficult version of the dungeon for the race and any brave guardians that want the ultimate challenge. Now, are we up for the ultimate challenge, or are we just kind of no?
Well, that just depends. What's the Titan's favorite super?
I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
Can I get close enough to smack you in the face or not?
I don't know, but I'm wondering what super is going to be disabled for the next 3 episodes because of this dungeon.
Oh, Shadow Shot.
Yeah,
they're actually going to re-break Shadow Shot now that they've fixed it, just as a final stroke in their master plan.
Right.
New dungeon. That's a thing. That another 48-hour contest mode, 1995 power level.
But they are changing it. They are changing it. This time, instead of a podium race, they're going to be crowning one team. One team wins it all. They take the glory. They run off into the sunset and hold their trophy aloft, because that's what you're going to be getting, a trophy. Just one of you, not all 3 of you. No, maybe all 3 of you. I don't know, because I don't work there, so I have no idea.
You know how that bug exists where only the first person that opens the chest gets the loot? Well, in this case, only the first person on the first fire team that gets the chest gets the Bungie rewards. The other 2 people in the fire team don't get anything.
That is something to remember, is that there will be an exotic tied to this. So that is something cool that we don't know what it could be. It could be the Zalo Supercell. It could be held up in storage, and that would entice Respawn to go in there with his day 1 raid team and split them in half and go, "You're the best. You're coming with me."
I was going to say, please don't be something from Destiny 1.
It's going to be something.
I know it is, but unless you open that first chest and the Wrath of the Machine is inside, I don't think anyone's going to notice.
But the thing about it is you mentioned Zalo Supercell, and that gets my almonds moving, right? If they brought back the Zalo Supercell, that they wouldn't keep it in its original form, right? So It wouldn't be the Zalo Supercell. That's the first thing. And second of all, if they made it better, great. But I think we all know that a lot of these exotics that have come back from D1, not all of them, but a lot of them have come back in almost a worse format than what they were originally. I mean, Icebreaker being a prime example,
Maybe not. Maybe I think a lot of people like that.
You think a lot of people like not having infinite ammo?
Well, you can have infinite ammo.
No, I can see that. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of not having infinite ammo.
And you can pick up green bricks, which will also give you ammo towards it.
It doesn't matter. Like you said in last week's episode, the whole point of it is for you to sit there in a corner of a dungeon and go plink, 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 plink until you kill a boss. No,
that was Destiny 1.
I know, but the Zalo Supercell allowed that.
Sort of.
It's not a sort of. That's exactly what it did. But anyway.
Well, they haven't told us that they're going to be raising the power cap, but for this dungeon, you will need to be at 1995 power level to be at the cap throughout all encounters, and the contest mode will be enabled for 48 hours. The entry requirement is assemble a fire team of 3 players and start the Sundered Doctrine dungeon in the contest mode from the planet system map. All fire team members must own the Final Shape dungeon key and acquire the Drowning Labyrinth quest to enter the dungeon. We're not going to tell you where to go and get the Drowning Labyrinth quest. It's just going to be at somebody. It'll be flashing on the director, and you'll have to go and find it. Because
it's a secret.
It's an extra line of text, Bungie. Come on. It's just an extra line of text. You don't need to keep that secret. I don't understand.
They're not entirely sure who's going to have it yet. They can't get the quest to show up, so they're still working on that part.
Once the final encounter is complete, the fire team must loot the final chest, or their finish may not be recorded. A team's official finish will be recorded when they loot the final chest, and at least one member of the fire team must have completed and received loot for every encounter and it must be the first time completing the activity for all 3 members of the fire team. So if you do conquer the Sundered Doctrine dungeon, you will earn a special emblem and guarantee the dungeon exotic weapon drop as well if you complete it in contest mode. If contest mode isn't your thing, you won't have to wait long for more ways to play, because normal mode will be enabled as soon as the first fire team completes the dungeon. Now that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I like. You can also get a Twitch emblem if you watch people playing the Sundered Doctrine dungeon race. You can check out CB Gray, Evan F 1997, and that's it. Just 2 people. And they've given you Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok to go and find them. And luckily enough, YouTube and TikTok have the same person, so it doesn't matter. It's just CB Gray. So,
and potentially Fallout. Did they leave him off again? Should we go check out Fallout just in case?
It doesn't say Fallout in here.
Didn't say Fallout last time either, and he was a little cranky about it.
Oh dear,
poor guy.
They will be streaming from 7 a.m. PT with a pre-show countdown before the following action live at 9 a.m. PT until one team emerges victorious. And viewers can get the emblem. And it doesn't say you have to tune in for like 10-15 minutes. It just says you get the emblem if you watch them.
At this point, they're just like, if you were there, we're going to give it to you. We've had too many problems trying to sync up watch time. So here, if you show up, we're just going to hand it to you. Here you go.
Oh,
just
good.
Add it to your collection.
Good. I like
Speaking as an official Bungie representative, that's our new plan. We're just like, if you have a minute of watch time, we're just going to hand it to you. Because let's be honest, if you showed up, just here you go, have an emblem.
Heresy ability update. So with the next act or the next episode, we're going to be looking at some new verbiage, aspects, and ability balance passes. So let's start with the arc keyword, Bolt Charge, which is featured in some of our new arc aspects. So Bolt Charge is a positive stacking buff that you can build upon yourself over time. Once you reach the maximum charge, your next ability attack will unleash a devastating bolt of arc lightning. While you have 1 or more stacks from any source, aspects, fragments, weapon perks, etc., dealing damage with any weapon increases your Bolt Charge stack count. Each time a stack is gained, you'll gain a chunk of melee energy. At 10 stacks, your Bolt Charge is ready, and any ability damage, arc or otherwise, summons a powerful arc bolt, dealing roughly the same amount of damage as the solar ignition with a small area of effect. Different from ignition though, Bolt Charge is tuned to have more consistent and predictable uptime. So similar to the addition of Frost Armor to Stasis with the release of the final shape, they have woven Bolt Charge into the Arc and Prismatic suites to allow these subclasses to access this new keyword. The new Arc aspect for Striker Titan and Stormcaller Warlock also features Bolt Charge. And please refer to the Balance Pass section below for full details.
So they're giving us a Volt Shot for all except 1 big boost of damage, is what it sounds like.
Hunters aren't getting it. Shh.
They got their Shadow Shot back. They should be happy enough.
So we do get a couple of videos this week. I haven't actually watched the videos, so that's going to be interesting. Let's have a quick look at.
I kept watching the Titan one before I had like fully, because I saw the videos come up on social with the new, hey, here's the Bolt Charge, and I kept watching the Titan one going, I don't know what I'm seeing. That looks like just what I do in the course of normal gameplay. But now hearing seeing the description now, I guess I understand it better. It just seems like, I don't know, it didn't seem that noticeable, especially if you're using a Volt Shot weapon or abilities that already, chain lightning between people. So, I mean, I'm actually excited to add this to my kit because I've basically just been running a kit on the Titan of just electrifying everything anyway. Yeah. So if I get this on any weapon I'm using, great. If I can use this and kinetic tremors at the same time, that kind of makes me giggle.
Well, I mean, I suppose it's a good thing because it sounds like we're going to be getting new weapon perks coming with Heresy. So that's quite cool.
Yeah, so we're getting... So the Titans and Warlocks are getting the Bolt Charge. So the Hunters are going to be prowling around. They're on the prowl. The Night Stalkers, they're first. On the prowl is the new Void aspect for Hunters that embodies the fantasy of hunting down prey and being rewarded for the kill. So on the prowl, entering invisibility marks a nearby enemy as a priority target for you and your team. Note this does not enable players to see marked targets through walls in Crucible, so it's not Crucible wall hacks. Defeating priority targets creates a weakening cloud of smoke that makes you and your allies invisible when passing through it. When priority targets are defeated, you and your nearby allies gain increased weapon reload speed and stability for a short duration, and are also granted all 3 ability energies, grenade, melee, and class abilities. Okay, so go invisible, mark a target, kill the target, become invisible, and get little boosts to everything, basically.
Yeah.
Reload stability, grenade, melee, and class ability. That's not bad.
Yeah, and they do put a video in the TWAB going over this, and it's pretty simple. Shoot somebody, they die, there's a cloud of smoke, your whole team runs through it, you will become invisible, and then you just repeat over and over again. So, pretty cool.
So it's Hunter version of Hold W. Hold W, murder, rinse, and repeat. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
There's many ways to kick off invisible on the prowl, including Vanishing Step, Stylish Executioner, Spectral Blades, Rat King, pick your favorite. So when it happens nearby non-boss targets will be highlighted for you and your fire team. So it's not so much that you can pick, I guess. It's a non-boss target, so if there's multiple nearby, it goes, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, that one. So yeah, kill the target, run through the smoke, and get all the buffs. Successful hunt can also stack up to 3 times. So you can do that. So yeah, so every time your entire fire team is granted so successful hunt is what they're calling that buff you get when you run through the smoke. So you can get 3 of those at a time. So I'm sure all the nerds will have numbers on what exactly that means and how much it boosts all of your abilities and your recharges.
So Storm's Keep is up next for the Strikers, and this is a new class ability focused aspect for Arc Titans that utilize Bolt Charge to its fullest potential. So cast your class ability to grant a moderate number of Bolt Charge stacks to you and your nearby allies. While behind your barricade, you and allies gain a stack of Bolt Charge over time, and any weapon damage will discharge this max stack of Bolt Charge. Casting your thrusters or barricade will give you and nearby allies a good chunk of Bolt Charge stacks, and the melee energy that comes along with the Bolt Charge. If you opt for a barricade version, if you stand behind the barricade, will grant additional Bolt Charges stacks over time, and once you're at full stacks, any weapon damage that you deal with standing behind your barricade will also cash in the Bolt Charge, cooling down a lightning bolt at your target's location. Standard Bolt Charges allows you to cool down lightning by dealing ability damage, but with Storm's Keep, you can keep cooling down lightning just by shooting the enemy whilst behind your barricade. This is especially potent with the rally barricade as it allows multiple bolts from you and your allies and provides solid boss damage. So yeah, that looks pretty cool as well. Again, they put another video in here. We're using the barricade and people standing behind it, and it's a bit like the Warlock thing, isn't it? With the lightning coming down from the sky and just constantly proccing. So
it's sort of like, it feels like a mix between Volt Shot and Thunderlord.
Yeah,
you shoot a thing, you get more electricity. You keep shooting, you get more electricity. I'm not mad about that. Yeah, that was a video I kept watching, and I was like, "What are you trying to show me?" Because I just didn't. I didn't quite. I'm like, I see that you're shooting, and I see there's electricity. Is that the thing that we're getting? Yeah. So at least this makes it at least a little bit clearer. Yeah, I like that these two, at least so far, are just sort of almost like passive things you can do. Like, I'm going to use thrusters, and thank you for including thrusters, Bungie. I'm going to throw my barricade out. I like the new animation on the barricade where the Titan puts his arms out. Because I've always liked the barricade on the animation on the Void Titan of sliding in and throwing that barricade down. Like, I like that it has this little unique animation. I always thought that was fun. So I like that this is just like, come to me, here are my giant arms, we'll put this barricade down. We get the lightning surge going and then just lay into whatever. Ooh, I wonder if you use a centrifuge with that, if that would just give it more lightning. Ideas. Yeah, I like that these are, both the Titan and Warlock or Titan and Hunter are like things you're going to do anyway, so just keep doing them and you'll get more benefit out of it. Seems really nice to build into. Now, it wouldn't be nice, I feel like the Warlocks have really been left out in Night Demon. Wouldn't it be nice if they had just like some more friends?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be good if they just had an extra friend they could come, run around and play with so they don't feel so sad?
Yep.
Well, good news. Everyone loves buddies. You love buddies. I love buddies. Arc Soul has been begging for a sibling. It looked at the Hellion and was like, no. It looked at the ice crystals and was like, too cold. I can't really hug them nearly as well. But we found one. The Ionic Sentry. Our new arc aspect for the Stormcaller Warlocks. The Ionic Sentry will defeat targets with arc abilities or weapons to charge up the Ionic Sentry. Activating your grenade will deploy a powerful arc turret which blinds on impact and sends out bolts of chain lightning to nearby enemies and grant stacks of the bolt charge when it defeats enemies. So, yeah. A new buddy to make friends with. So yeah, and it does just look like you threw out this big, bolt of arc that just sort of sits there and says, you don't get to have this zone. You don't get to stand here. I'm going to electrocute you.
I wonder if that's going to take I wonder if you can have that and you can have the buddy system as well. So you can put both of those on at the same time. So you could throw one out and still have your arc buddy as well. I like that idea.
Yeah, I would hope so because it is sort of different things. The Ionic Sentry will sort of you throw it out like your grenade, and like the ice turret, and it sits somewhere where the arc buddy comes with you and is your friend on the battlefield, doesn't leave you. Yeah, I hope they stack. I really do. It would be
because
really
the
nice.
video, I can't really see if they had two. No, they don't have two charges, but they throw it out and then they immediately get another grenade back. So,
right, yeah,
it must be the build that they're kind of, or just like the playtest that they're running, so, to show you that it is the grenade ability that goes out. But I suppose you could have that out, and so you could either throw it out and do that, or you could hold it and have your arc buddy. One or the other.
Should be both. Yeah. I like that you can throw it somewhere and it blinds everybody, and then just starts chaining that lightning. Because, like they say, in our playtest, the Ionic Sentry has been a favor for Stormcallers, providing much needed area of control during combat and access to potent damage through bolt charge. The build crafting paths for Stormcaller are much wider with the Ionic Sentry in the mix, so we're excited to see where players take it. Yeah, we'll have to see which buddies you can mix with it, because that would be super fun to have both arc buddies, but you could probably still build into your Hellion, or possibly build into your ice turret. Ooh, could you have an ice turret and an Ionic turret?
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
And here's an idea for Bungie. It would be really cool if, like, Bungie employees had access to this and were just playing, like, Iron Banner, and suddenly, randomly, you saw this new ability that then got the community talking about this new ability or this new aspect or fragment and go, where do I get that from? And then, it could be something that they talk about. Say, we've been in playtesting with you guys, and this is how it's feeling in Crucible, and it's good to get some reactions on this. I wouldn't mind if it was a Bungie employee actually using this new ability, coming in and going, and you're like, oh my god, what is that? There would be so much hype and so much kind of excitement about something new coming in the next couple of weeks. So just saying, Bungie, that's an idea.
Really, you could use it in Iron Banner control, and it wouldn't affect anything because nobody would stand on the point anyway, so you're fine.
Oh, lots of people don't know that there's Iron Banner control. Oh dear.
So yeah, next time Iron Banner's up, or while Iron Banner's up, click the little drop down, because you may have another option that's control versus whatever other mode happens to be up. It's a secret.
I hate you, Bungie.
They're just driving you to drink. Slowly but surely, just driving you closer and closer to the edge of sanity. Whoop, there you go.
Yes.
But we wouldn't want you to fall, so we have some Heresy balance changes for you.
Okay. So, should we go over Hunters first, as because they're first on the list? Respawn is listening. Okay, take it in. Listen. Arcstrider, the Tempest Strike. They've got new additional effects added. So, killing any jolted target grants a stack of bolt charge, and they've increased the damage against PvE enemies by 57%. That's cool. Disorientating blows. So, this is your punchy bit. Now grants a moderate amount of bolt charge stacks when dealing damage with disorientating blows. And disorientating blows now deal significant damage in the area around the target hit, instead of just a single target damage. And they've increased the blind AoE from 6 meters to 9.6. Your Arc Staff, the reflecting an attack, will grant a stack of bolt charge. Ascension, increasing the fragment slots to 3 on Arc. Note, Ascension was already granting 3 fragment slots on Prismatic. Ooh, that's nice. Activating Ascension will now activate the effects from the following abilities: Gambler's Dodge, Marksman Dodge, Empowering Dodge, and Threaded Spectre. Note, they don't plan to make Ascension activate every Hunter class ability perk, but we may add more interactions in the future. Threadrunner, Ensnaring Slam. Activating Ensnaring Slam will now activate the effects from the following abilities: Gambler's Dodge, Marksman Dodge, and Threaded Spectre. And again, they don't plan to make Incendiary Slam active with every Hunter class ability perk, but it may be coming in the future. Threaded Spectre, they've increased the clones' PvE damage resistance from 40% to 70%. Titans. All Titan subclasses. Barricade. We've changed the animation. No, they don't say that, but I think they probably have changed the animation. Increase the damage resistance versus combatant splash damage attacks when standing behind the barricade from 60 to 80%. That's very nice. And the taunt strength and range no longer fall off over time.
I totally forgot they added taunt to the game already because I haven't used a barricade in so long because I've been thrustering everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I should remember that.
Maybe your thrusters have been taunting people.
Maybe.
I've
been taunting them while I use it, so maybe that's it.
Juggernaut, we're on our striker. While Juggernaut shield is active, players now have splash damage resistance and 60% splash damage resistance in PvE and 10% in PvP. And while the Juggernaut shield is active, players now have 10% damage resistance versus PvE combatants. And when the Juggernaut shield blocks damage, players are granted a stack of Bolt Charge. Ballistic Slam, sprint time requirement before activation significantly reduced. Damage now scales based on distance travelled, and damage versus players versus enemies combatants increased by 30%. Each enemy damaged by Ballistic Slam grants a stack of Bolt Charge, up to a maximum of 10 stacks if you manage to hit 10 stacks with a single activation. Sentinel, we have Unbreakable, increase the rate that the Unbreakable offensive throw charge is up when blocking damage. Increase the maximum damage dealt from the offensive throw by 20%. Increase the health pool of the shield to make it less likely to break under heavy fire. And increase the void overshield charge rate while holding the shield. And throws now cost half the grenade energy charge instead of a full charge. While Sentinel Shield is active, all powered creation cooldown increase from 1 second to 4.5 seconds. Note, Unbreakable has received a significant buff here, and they want it to be strong, but they will be monitoring it closely to make sure they haven't gone too far. Ward of Dawn now does a weakening pulse when the ward is created.
Nice. Love a panic bubble being more panicky. And the fact that your shield throw will now cost half a grenade energy instead of a full, that's got some fun armamentarium. You could throw 4 shields quickly. I like that. I have to remember Void exists. They're hurting my baby.
Sunbreaker, Consecration, they reduce the Scorch Wave and Slam Wave damage in PvE by 55%. Note, when reviewing the damage cost ratio for certain abilities, it became clear that Consecration was doing too much for too little, and they didn't want to take away from the dramatic pop moment of landing both waves on a target, though. They've kept its ignition damage bonus and instead reduced the wave damage, and they suspect that we may also need to adjust the ignition damage in future.
Because I use Consecration for like 8 years at this point, and as the only thing you're using because nothing else was worthwhile, so we're going to nerf this now, and now you have to go use something else.
Yeah, when I was playing the Prison of Elders thing, there was a Titan in there just kind of doing the kind of jump slam thing with the Consecration, the double hammers, and he was doing it pretty regularly. I mean, I know there is a setup that you can do to kind of keep doing that over and over again, but yeah, he was just destroying everything, so I can understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, it's stupidly good, especially on Prismatic, where you can add the jolting to that power melee jolts enemies. You can just clear entire rooms and go, okay, I've finished with this room. What's next? Oh, we gave you guns. Yeah, I don't need those. I just need Consecration. Yeah, so I'm not surprised the Consecration's getting a hit, but it sounds like Unbreakable's now the way to go. Just throw 1,000 shields and be done. Oh no, we'll see.
Warlocks, you have Stormcaller. The Storm Trance increased non-champion PvE damage by 20%. Chaos Reach increased non-champion PvE damage by 15%. Lightning Surge, remove amplified on cast, now grants a stack of Bolt Charge for each enemy hit with the Lightning Surge. They've increased the damage versus players versus enemy combatants by 30%. Voidwalker, handheld supernova, Chaos Accelerant magnetic grenade variant. Increase the total projectile count from 5 to 9. Increase the width of the cone blast by roughly 2 meters. And increase the height of the cone's blast by 1 meter. They've reduced the projectile damage in PvP from 20 to 15 per projectile to account for the additional projectiles. A note, adding 4 projectiles is potentially a substantial damage increase, but due to the increased size of the cone of blast, all the projectiles won't land on a single small target. This means PvP potency should remain similar, but in PvE this becomes a much more reliable add clear tool or a single target burst damage option against larger targets.
Okay, I was just like, Chaos Accelerant's Magnetic Grenade variant. Got it. Okay.
I don't know because I'm not a Warlock main. I mean, I have been playing Warlock this week, but yeah, not that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of words there, and hopefully it'll be better.
Maybe I should play some more Warlock. Maybe I should learn these things a bit more. I go on, I play it, that's it. It does its thing. I do a thing. I watch a build video. I don't retain that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been playing Warlock this entire week with Iron Banner, and haven't changed my weapons or my loadout at all. I've just been running around as a Void Warlock going, I have a buddy and I have guns. Goodbye.
All classes, Solar, Radiant. Damage bonus reduced from 25 to 20% in PvE. Well of Radiant's damage bonus remains unchanged. Stasis, Frost Armor increased the DR per stack from 4.5% to 6.25. At max stacks, DR goes from 36 to 50%. And that's damage reduction, because we can't write the whole sentence there. We have to put DR. Note this change is in PvE only. PvP values remain unchanged. Arc amplified. While amplified, PvE combatants are now less accurate against you. This is similar to how the Manticore exotic effects works in midair. While amplified, players now have 50% damage resistance against PvE combatants. Spark of Discharge added an effect. Picking up an ionic trace grants a stack of bolt charge. Spark of Momentum added the effect of sliding over an ammo brick, also now grants a bolt charge. Removed the bespoke melee energy bonus from sliding over ammo bricks, since each stack of bolt charge comes with bonus melee energy. They've reduced the amount of time you need to be sliding to activate the Spark of Momentum. This should make it so that if you start sliding on top of an ammo brick, Spark of Momentum will still activate instead of previously needing to be sliding into the brick after roughly 0.75 seconds.
Yeah, so instead of needing to have that runway to say you must slide first, then it works. It's just the moment you hit the ground, you can start picking things up.
Spark of Frequency added effects, while amplified gain a bonus stack of bolt charge from all sources, in addition to previous effects. Spark of Volts added the effect of finishers granting a stack of bolt charge in addition to granting amplified. Spark of Ions added the effect of targets defeated with bolt charge will also make ionic traces in addition to previous effects. Prismatic, the Facet of Hope, can now be activated by bolt charge. Facet of Purpose now grants a stack of bolt charge on an orb pickup when Arc Super is equipped instead of granting amplified. Facet of Sacrifice can now be activated by bolt charge. And modifiers, Brawn, tuned healing source to better balance the health economy when this modifier is active.
Lots of bolt charges. Lots of sparky. I was just thinking, has there ever been like a bad time to be an Arc? I would say Arc Titan, because I feel like the other Arc classes have been really good or really bad, depending. But it just seems like, hey, Arc is just sort of a good like default position. If you would have been like, we're just gonna be Arc forever, minus that dilliance into consecration for a while, and just go back to Arc. Just run everything Arc. Just jolt everything. It'll be great.
Yeah.
But we're here at our lovely event.
Are we?
I mean, we're here at the tiny bit of information they've provided about the Past Is Prologue event.
Yep.
Past Is Prologue, the prologue is past, Doctor Strange is going to show up, there's a multiverse, it's a whole thing. So as we enjoy the final weeks of Revenant, we have one final celebration. It's a prologue of sorts, leading into Heresy, where we get a chance to see what life in the universe is like when there aren't any gods around for us to slay. Apparently very quiet from the looks of things.
Apparently it's a quote from The Tempest, because when I was doing my research for this, I thought, what is the name of this event? What is... Because sometimes when they write these things in the TWAB, you think, are they just playing around with words and that isn't the actual name of the event? But it is the actual name of the event, I hope, because that's what they've said it is there. And if you look in the database, it says the Past Is Prologue as well. So I was like, okay, so it is that, but we're kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
Look at you pretending like you can read. Like you've ever read The Tempest.
Most of the time I see this stuff, and I'm like, I'm just going to assume that's a reference to a story somewhere. I'm not to go figure out what it is, but good for them.
Anything is.
Any bizarrely named thing or, particular sounding quotes like that, that's a quote relating to something. So good. Now we know.
Yeah. And knowing is half the battle.
Yep. And the other half of the battle is spending a few quiet moments with Eris and the Drifter, remembering how far we've come and answering the age-old question, can pineapple bloom on the battlefield? Which I'm sure is a reference to something else, which we'll not get into next week. So if you played Riven's Wishes last year, the flow of the event will feel similar. Starting on January 21st, so this coming Tuesday as we record, you can visit the Drifter to pick up quests that will reward a special currency called bento tokens. The tokens can be exchanged for some, if we do say so ourselves, pretty snazzy rewards over at Eris. Throughout the event, you'll have a chance to earn a total of 8 bento tokens, so spend wisely and make them count. And they did clarify on the Reddits this week, it is 8 per account, not per character.
Yeah.
So you have 8 total across all 3 characters. So pick a character, pick all 3 characters, but you only get 8 of these total to spend. So use them wisely.
And is it one token, one item, or is it like this will cost you 1 token, this will cost you 2 tokens, this can cost 5 tokens?
I believe the cost of everything is 1 token. However, what you get back for that 1 token is different.
Okay.
So if you're saying, I am currency poor, my coffers are empty, you can take, now again, all of these are 1 token to cost. So you hand in 1 token to Eris, and she will give you 2 Ascendant Alloys, or 2 Ascendant Shards, or 1 Exotic Cipher, or 25 Spoils of Conquest. And there is a cap to the Spoils of Conquest. You can do that a max of 3 times. So you can use up to 3 tokens for up to 75 Spoils of Conquest. There is no cap on the other things. So you could use all 8 on those if you wanted to.
Spoils of Conquest, you still have to go into the raid to spend them, so...
No, you don't.
No, you don't. There's a whole kiosk.
You're talking about okay. I was... Okay.
That's the wait long enough, and you can buy yourself a brand new Anarchy out of the kiosk.
I was thinking Spoils of Conquest, like to go buy like the bow that has like what you're making on it.
At the end of the new raids, that you get the kind of choice to go back and buy some of the actual weapons or armor, and you need the Spoils of Conquest. But for people that don't have access to the raids or things, then there's that kiosk in the tower between the 2 vaults that you can go and buy past stuff that requires you to have Spoils of Conquest from doing raids and only select raids. Then that's the way of getting it.
Or if you are raiding and you are a couple short, if you want to go roll a couple of bows, you can use these same spoils in the raid. Either way. But for most of us peasants, it'll be going to the kiosk and going, I have these spoils. Can I use this? Mm-hmm. Now, if you're saying, why would I want this nonsense currency? You know what I want? You know what I really want? Mementos.
Tell me what you want. What you really want.
You can get a Gambit memento, a Vanguard memento, an Iron Banner memento, a Festival of the Lost memento, a Dawning memento, a Guardian memento,
so that's the
or
black
a Solstice memento. Yeah, so if you missed out on those and just didn't get any of them, and you're like, I would like to have one of these to have it, all of those mementos cost 1 token.
The Festival of the Lost memento is a super black shadow that actually I just had a stroke. The
Festival of the Lost memento is all black, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, but it's a dark black. It's what super black should have looked like on weapons without looking like you left it out in the sun for too long, right? So it is the super black for weapons.
Yes. It is the super black for hunter weapons. Let's just get that right.
It is going to be required to play Heresy as a hunter that you have this equipped. So if you do not have one, it's actually required for you. Some things involve DLC purchases. This is actually a hunter requirement. True. Yeah, this is actually a hunter requirement even to get into Heresy. Otherwise, you're a heretic and you'll be hunted down.
Why is he laughing when you said that? Does he not
know? Now,
but what happens if I have 3 tokens? What can I buy for 3 tokens?
Well, if you have 3 tokens, you can say, I'm tired of trying to roll my chances and run this mission over and over again. I could just buy a Cloud Strike. For 3 tokens, I could get 1 Cloud Strike.
Yes.
Now, presumably, I could spend 6 tokens to get 2 Cloud Strikes if I'm crazy. But I don't know why you would do that.
I doubt it.
I mean, they don't say there's a max. They called out the max on the spoils. They didn't say max on anything else. So maybe it's a punch out system and you can't, or maybe you can say, I want 8 of these. Now, maybe you're saying, listen, I've played Trials at one time. I got 16 Cataphract GL3s because they just handed them to me. But I'd really like to have an Adept roll. So I can spend 1 token to get a fixed roll of Linear Compensator, Alloy Casing, Envious Assassin, Bait and Switch, and a Velocity Masterwork. Yeah, and it's worth mentioning the rest of these weapons are fixed rolls. So do not, even if you can pick up more than one, do not, because you're going to get the same exact roll every time.
So with your Envious Assassin, defeating targets with other weapons before drawing this one transfers ammo to the magazine from reserve. That also works with the Bait and Switch, because if you deal damage with all equipped weapons within a short time, it gives this weapon a damage boost. So those two work really well on this. And if you're going to go for the fixed roll on that, the blast radius is going to be 58. The velocity is going to be 55. Stability 42. Handling of 50. And reload of 80. With all the others still staying the same. So that's cool.
And it's an Adept weapon, so it'll take your Adept mods.
But the thing about it is like, damaging other enemies will proc Bait and Switch, but Envious Assassin only works on enemy kills.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you're out there killing, you've got your kills. All right, Night Demon, clear that one out. We've moved on from the Cataphract.
Yeah, Igneous Hammer.
Now we're saying, you can get your Igneous Hammer Adept. Again, with 1 token. So that's going to roll with a fixed roll of Flared Magwell, Fluted Barrel, Fragile Focus, Precision Instrument, with a Range Masterwork.
For Igneous Hammer Adept, you're looking at 92 impact, range of 65, stability of 42, handling of 49, and reload of 45. And what was the masterwork, sorry? Handling? Range.
Work. So
sorry.
Should be further away.
Yeah, 75 range then, with the range masterwork.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the most sought after God Roll Igneous Hammer the one that came with the... I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of range, but Igneous Hammer could 2-tap in the Crucible, right? Isn't that why everybody wanted it?
Well, with Fragile Focus, this weapon gains bonus range until your shield is destroyed. The bonus returns once your shield is regenerated to full strength. And the Precision Instrument is dealing sustained damage, increases precision damage. So...
that's where the damage perk is. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fragile Focus is what I've been running on my auto rifle forever, my Firefright, for the same reason. It's good fun. So if you're saying nope, throw that one away. We don't need hand cannons. We don't need grenade launchers. I want a Horror's Least. I want my Adept roll of the Horror's Least.
Okay.
Now
what are we looking for on this?
We're going to receive a Arrowhead Break.
Oh.
Accurized Rounds.
Looking nice.
Perpetual Motion.
Very nice.
Kill Clip. And a Stability Masterwork.
What gun is this?
This is the Horror's Least Pulse Rifle.
Pulse, right? Yes.
The rapid fire frame. So that will give you an impact of 23, because that stays the same, range of 47, stability of 59, handling of 35, reload speed of 38, recoil direction of 85, so down the middle there. Very nice. And as Peroty said, these Adepts, you can put their Adept mods on there. So you get access to some of those new ones, which are pretty cool.
So that's a lovely pulse rifle. Now, for some reason, we now have our friend the Riptide, who is not Adept, because fusion rifles. There's only one. There's only one Adept fusion rifle, and we know who that is. Two if we're counting the Toaster. Yeah, the Toaster. That's what we were all thinking of. Obviously.
Okay, fair enough.
No, only one person was thinking that,
and he knows who he is. So the Riptide, non-Adept. 1 token, 1 Riptide. Again, still a fixed roll, though. You'll receive Arrowhead Break.
Yep.
An Enhanced Battery.
Okay.
Because you all have problems. Compulsive Reloader. But relax, because it'll also have Chill Clip and Charge Time.
Oh, that's nice. So top half of the magazine slows and freezes enemies, but if you reload at the top half of the magazine, you get a faster reload. Very nice synergy there.
Yeah. So you get an impact. It says 50. Because it's -5 because of the masterwork of charge time, but I thought that they took away the the negative part of that. So this could just be a wrong stat in D2 Foundry, or it could be 50. Range of 21, stability of 31, handling of 60, charge time of 460, 8 in the magazine, and a recoil direction of 83. That's what you're looking at for that.
Excellent. Well, now we move on to those are your weapon rolls. Now let's get into these armor rolls they detail. So we have some Hunter Artifice armor. Now these are all going to cost you 2 tokens. You will receive 1 piece of armor, but these will cost you 2 of your tokens. And now fire up your light.ggs now in your D2 Foundries, because you're going to get a high stat roll.
All right. You know.
So for the Titan Artifice armor, again, 2 tokens, 1 piece of armor. You are going to receive a high stat roll. Now for the Warlocks, you're also getting Artifice armor, 2 tokens, 1 piece of armor. It's going to come with, any guesses? A high stat roll. So it will be Artifice armor. I don't know what kind of Artifice armor. I don't know if it's going to be a random piece. I don't know if it's going to be a set one. They're just saying it'll be Artifice armor, so that's nice. Assuming it's not a class item, because that's where your exotic one goes. And it's going to be a high stat roll, allegedly. What I and the rest of the internet would like to know is it going to be a spiky high stat roll, like a desirable high stat roll, or just a high stat roll, but also Artifice? So I'm not going to sneeze at Artifice armor necessarily, but no. I really need to know what the quote high stat roll is and what slot it's going to sit into.
Give me the deets, bro.
And don't forget, I'm not sure if it's going to work, but don't forget on your Ghost, you can put in a mod that will give you a specific role in, say, if you want an armor roll to drop with like recovery or mobility or resilience. If you put on a Ghost mod that says that it should be, it says the armor piece that with the random stats you acquire will have a guaranteed minimum of 10 whatever in that stat. So hopefully it would be more focused on that stat. So hopefully the Ghost mods work with it. But I'd also like to know is, can you pick the armor piece? Because I would like a class item for some of my characters, because I run different exotics. I don't run the class item. So I would like an Artifice armor piece. And for anybody out there that doesn't know what an Artifice armor piece is, Respawn, could you explain what an Artifice armor piece is?
Sure. Artifice armor is any piece of armor that allows you to have an extra slot to put +3 to any one of your stats of your choosing for free.
There you go. There is an added benefit to Artifice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so if you have armor pieces, either the new exotic armor pieces or other ones that you've upgraded, and you can add that extra slot for your class item armor mod. Yeah, it's a free +3 to whatever. So the more of those you can stick in there, you can get that 97 to 100, or just get that extra 3 points where you need it. Yeah, so that's what you're going to have from this event. So yeah, again, you're going to have 8 tokens across your account. So you could go buy up to 75 spoils of conquest or some other materials you probably don't care about. 1 token for 1 memento, any of the mementos that have been in the game. 3 tokens for your Cloud Strike, 1 token for the rest of your weapons, and then 2 tokens for your various Artifice armor pieces, as a recap of what's available. So I would like to find a lovely Horror's Least.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that one. Again, curious about the Artifice armor. We're going to have to see where that falls. And I might spend some on spoils. We'll see. See what happens.
See, if you have access to the Valley Disciple, you can load it up and go in solo. And there are little nodes that you can shoot in that initial opening section that you shoot. I think it's 3 little hidden triangles. There is a guide out there. Shoot those 3 little triangles, and you can go and pick up a box at the end of that. It's quite quick. It takes you about 5 minutes if you don't stay and destroy all the enemies on the way. If you just bypass them, go and pick up the box. I believe it gives you 5 spoils per chest, and I do that every week on my characters to get 15 spoils. And they're free spoils. And because I've done an actual run of it, I've got access to a couple of the weapons on there. So sometimes I get a weapon to drop as well as the spoils. So that's also quite nice. So I've had a couple of red borders out of there as well. And the ones that I don't have the red borders for, I use the things from the season pass to give me access to the red borders, the deep sight harmonizers that I've stored up from last Echoes episode harmonizers. I think I've still got 5. So I go and kind of pull them out and then put them into the weapon so I don't lose them. And
because of course you have. So I have now a little wrinkle in this, because Bungie tweeted, on their Destiny 2 team account this week, starting next week, each weapon will be available for the bento tokens, will be enhanceable. And then they say, if you have any in your vault, they'll also gain this functionality. This includes both the base and adept versions of the weapons, where applicable.
In their functionality. The hell?
Please note, weapons must have been acquired after Season of the Haunted to gain the enhanced functionality. So they say, so is this me saying they'll be enhanceable? Because I read this and I'm going, Bungie, what do you mean?
The adepts and all, because they come with the masterwork, you can then click it to enhance those perks that are on there. So you can enhance your adept versions. But what I think they're saying is that if you've got Horror's Lease in your vault and it was acquired after a certain period of time, at the moment, I cannot enhance it. As there's like some of the older weapons you can't enhance. So maybe like I've got an old Igneous Hammer with opening shot and encore on there, but because it's not part of the selection of, you can enhance it, you can't enhance it yet. So if you've got ones that are equivalent in your vault past a certain time, you'll be able to enhance those. So that's quite cool.
Yeah, I was interested about that because I'm going, I never did get a good Horror's Lease roll, but like I've got some Igneous Hammers laying around. I think I kept one Cataphract when they were throwing those at me. So I'm excited to take those and saying, if you have even the base version of those, you can enhance them. It would have been nice to tell people. So so basically, Season of the Haunted, started May 24th, 2022. So if you've been playing in the last 2 years and received these weapons, they'll be ones you can enhance. If you've kept them since the Dark Ages when the Drifter, was around the first time, you won't be able to enhance them.
The only Cataphract GL3 that I got from Trials was one that has Volatile Launch, Augmented Drum, with Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch on there. So I might just go and get the new one, because that's meant to be better. We'll see.
We'll just upgrade this one. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I can upgrade this one.
Yeah, but I thought that was worth pointing out. So if
the other one says adept on it. The other one says adept on it. It's got extra words.
It's got the word
better.
I know words
and it's got a little bit of extra stats
and 2 parentheses. Yeah. But no, I thought that was interesting and worth pointing out. That if you do have these in your vault, they will be enhanceable as part of this event too. So even if you don't play the event or don't do the 90 games of Gambit it's going to require to earn these bento tokens, then you'll be able to take your pre-earned weapons and just they become better. Enjoy free weapon upgrades for all. And hunters, free fashion upgrades because the Chatterwhite shader is out. Ooh! So you will have to turn in 5 bento tokens. So you will have to first earn and then turn in 5 of your bento tokens. So the hunters will be playing to 5 and then giving up. You'll gain access to something as precious and pale as the moon. Chatterwhite is coming back. The Past Is Prologue event will only be around for 2 weeks, so don't waste any time and make sure you spend all your bento tokens before the start of Heresy. So you have 2 weeks to earn your 5 tokens to earn Chatterwhite. Now respawn for the hunters. What is Chatterwhite? And why should we care?
Chatterwhite is a less white version of the Trials of the Nine shader. It's an all white with a little bit of gray type shader on it. And for the hunters that don't want to be all black, now you can be all white. It's an alternative shader.
That is your second approved fashion choice, so you all have 2.
Indeed.
And we have voting results. All right. So let's see.
Before we get to the voting results. So if you're a bit confused at what these kind of Past Is Prologue event could be, if you go back and look at the Riven's Wishes stuff, we got a quest that we picked up. I think it was from Mara at the time, who was our kind of vendor for Season of the Wish. And you could do like 8 different quests or 8 quest steps. And you could do various different things. And she would say, go off and do this. And sometimes it would tie to the event. And sometimes it wouldn't. So Riven's Wishes 1 required you to complete 3 instances of Rift Generation public events located in the Strand portion of the Dreaming City. which sometimes were quite hard, and they didn't spawn in. But the heroic versions did count as 2, so you could get that kind of cleared pretty quickly. Riven's Wishes 2 was opened 3 Ascendant chests in the Dreaming City. Riven's Wishes 3 required you to defeat combatants in Legend and Master Lost sectors, and you got 3 points in Legend in other destinations, but 5 points for the Dreaming City for Legend, and Master, which is now I think our expert, was 4 points for other destinations and 6 points in the Dreaming City, and I think you needed to get 500 points in total. So it was quite a long one. So I think you could pick up all the quests at the same time, or they were over. Could you pick them up each day, or I can't remember now. Do you guys remember? Was it a daily thing that you could go and pick up a quest and go and do, or wait until kind of they'd all been released and then you could go back and just do them as and you wanted to? I think that's how it worked, wasn't it?
That's what I was trying to remember too, and I do not remember because I think I just waited till the end to get them all, but
I think I did as well.
I don't remember, and there's tape of me to to prove I'm wrong or right.
Yeah,
back on whatever episode that was. I don't remember if it was a Iron Banner style come back every day, or hey, here's all the things, go do them. But it's only a 2-week event, so I'm guessing if they are going to just stretch it out through the first week, then by the second week everything will be available and you can go do it all in one shot if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Riven's Wishes 4 was complete Waves of the Blind Well. Doing a tier 3 gave you more kind of points. Riven's Wishes 5 was taken mini bosses in the Corrupted Strike. Then we had Riven's Wishes 6 was complete every encounter in the Prophecy Dungeon. 6. So we only had 6 for Riven's Wishes, whereas you can do 8 for the Past Is Prologue. So It's going to be along the same kind of lines. I reckon it's going to be like go and play something that you've already played a billion times. Maybe, hopefully, cross your fingers, it's go and play the stuff that came along with Revenant. So go and do a Contest of Elders, do an Onslaught, go and play the exotic mission. Just nothing too hard. Maybe it will be do the Vespers Host dungeon, because that is the latest dungeon, or the exotic quest, one or the other. So those are the kind of things that you'll be looking for. It's along those lines. So
okay, yeah. In Revenant's Wishes, they did 1 quest per week for 6 weeks, versus now we only have 2 weeks, so it'll either be 4 and 4, or they'll just say, "Hey, here's everything at once." We'll find out.
I think we got 8 tokens with that as well, and like the last 2 gave you like 2 tokens per thing, because there was a glitch, wasn't there, that some people were getting more tokens, but then the more tokens weren't working. So
yeah, I remember. I think people who did have the glitch ended up with just a spare token that you then couldn't spend because the game was like, "No, you've used them all. You don't have any extra. I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna it's likely going to be things related to this current episode, act, whatever. You do the activities you haven't done. So maybe if you haven't done the new exotic mission, maybe wait and then do it 16 times in a row, or do it for your 17th time. Live your life how you want to. Yeah, I'm curious to see what we're going to have to do, because there's a couple weapons I want to get a hold of, maybe some spoils, but honestly at this point the weapons and exotic stuff I don't have from raids, I'm kind of like, do I care enough to pick those up? Do I need any of those? I don't know. I don't know if there's anything really calling my name.
Definitely a Cataphract. I'm going to swap out the one. I've checked the stats against the stats of my one, and I'm definitely going to get one of those. Definitely going to get the Horrors Least. Riptide, I'll check it against the ones that I've got. Artifice Armor I'm quite interested in, so that's maybe like 4 tokens, and then
Artifice Armor, as long as it's something at the very least, some piece for my Titan, piece for my Warlock. If it is like here's a static roll, or if it is a random drop, then I'll play that slot machine till I run out of tokens.
Yeah, it is really good for like new and players that haven't been around for too long to get some of like the currencies, or get some of the mementos that they haven't been around for, or some of the adept weapons that are just quite hard to get. So I like that idea, is giving people the stuff that's been around for ages and stuff that you might not have actually got hold of that you've been here all that time to get.
Yeah, and Chatterwhite, which will make at least a large percentage of the player base go, "Ooh, this is the thing I can have." Or they're off playing Monster Hunter and they'll never know. Okay, so now are we ready for our 2025 Festival of the Lost Armor voting results?
Well, does it really matter? Because they've said that they'll all be available.
Demon, nothing matters.
Okay.
Why doesn't he want to know? What the hell,
nothing
dude?
matters. Everything is fleeting. Everything is made up. None of this matters. We're talking about a video game over the internet, neither of which are things that exist or matter.
Are you not happy with what your Titans got, dude?
I'm just saying, like, you know,
No,
just
I'm talking to him. I know
the existence
you.
of life. Nothing matters.
From what we talked about last time, like what y'all got seems like what y'all wanted. So why are y'all not? Why is he not wanting to discuss it? I'm very curious.
Well, no, I am discussing it. That's what I'm saying is that they've given us the results of the winners, and the winners are going to be the ones that are developed for the Festival of the Lost 2025. But they've also said that the runners-up will also be available at some other point. And the runners-up from last year's Festival of the Lost, the wizard stuff that we didn't get. So I think it was good wizard for the Titans and bad wizards for the other two. The reverse is going to be available as well. So that's cool. But we wanted the set from the Festival of the Lost voting for 2023 to be released, because that was the set that Respawn got upset about that still hasn't been released. And I can't remember what it is now off the top of my head, so I'm going to have to go and look while you read.
Neither does Bungie, because So you know,
I wanted to be Godzilla.
So this was So this was our slasher versus Spectre choices. Hunters were especially torn on which design they preferred, with our closest vote ever. And while this hotly contested vote, there are no losers, because the winning armor will be available in Festival of the Lost, 2025, and the runner-up armor will be available sometime the following year, if they remember. So hopefully. So here's our vote. So with 53%, Titans favor the slasher, so we get to be Jason. And we're happy about this. Because, we already have a faceplate that's just all white, and now we have one with all white and some holes and some blood on it. So what's not to love there? And that's just a good look. Love it. Hunters. Now they said this was the closest vote ever for Hunters. Now Titans, 53% went slasher. Now Hunters, 57% went Spectre. So you get to be the bride character that, with the roses on the shoulders and whatnot.
Yep.
Now 57. 7's a bigger number than 3, right?
Well, they said for the Hunters, this is the closest it's ever been.
Okay.
For the Hunters, it's this
got it. Okay.
We're not comparing between the three classes.
Right.
But for the Hunters, normally the gap is bigger.
The Hunters, they were normally like, Respawn is wrong. Let's go with the one he hates. And this time they were like, we could go either way. I can't. You're too far away and you're sick. Now the Warlocks were like, there's no question. Apparently I was wrong. I am not a good Warlock representative, because 73% said, I would like to be the Spectre. I would like to be the Spectre with the crazy arms.
I said, look, the Warlocks don't have any tuxes. They might want to look dapper. And over 70%.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. The Warlocks said, we do not want to be a scarecrow. We are not cowardly.
Yeah.
They were like, we want to be a man with tentacles and a tux. And you know what? It's not a bad look. So good for them.
And they got it, man. They absolutely got it. Good for them.
I just need to know, if I apply the Highlander shader to it, does the tux become flannel? And then do I become the Canadian fancy boy? I don't know.
Dude, it's cloth. It is cloth.
Because that's exactly where that's going in a heartbeat. My thought for the Warlocks is, can I make it flannel? Does it look good in flannel? We'll find out. So there you go. That's what we're going to have for this Festival of Lost 125. And then the other options will be available sometime in the next year, 2026-ish. They also are going to release the runner-up Warlock design. Wizard designs, from last year's vote during Heresy. Keep an eye out for availability. So that's the good and bad wizard look. So they link back to the TWAB of January 18th, 2024. If you're going, which ones were those? And it was all blue or purple wizards and hats, basically. We mentioned last week we don't have plans to revisit vote runners up from years past, but there's one more set that bears mentioning: the Kaiju Lizard Hunter. Anytime we talk about Festival of the Lost Armor, this set inevitably comes up. And looking back, there's some obvious magic happening. However, we don't feel this old concept quite meets our standards for new armor sets. But instead of tossing the whole thing in the bin, we're taking a more targeted approach. In 2025, we will release the Legendary Hunter Cloak Ornament that pairs with a new look for the Dragon's Shadow Exotic Hunter chest armor. Both items will be Kaiju Lizard themed and pull inspiration from the old Festival of the Lost Concepts. P.S.
So
we also like those
still
energy
get to be
claws.
Godzilla. I hate you, Bungie.
Yeah.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, I've just found it. It's Festival of the Lost 2022. That's how far back we've been complaining that you didn't get your Godzilla. There was the Merman for the Warlocks and the Cyclops, like from Jason and the Argonauts for the Titans, that look fantastic. That we just didn't get. Can we please get it? Please.
No.
No. Now we get a theme. You get a theme. You don't get the Godzilla. You get a theme.
You're also not getting those energy claws for now.
Yeah. I'm so disappointed. My disappointment is immeasurable.
So unlike the entire Gambit game mode, they did mention that exists. So at least they're aware of people's feedback of it. So that's good. That's something. Take what you can get. On to Game2Give 2025, which I've seen approximately 20,000 more times of people talking about in coverage than I have this entire new event we're getting for 2 weeks. Game2Give, it's back. You can get a maximum heart emote, which gives you a big heart on your chest, a caped cruiser sparrow, and your offset shader. Now, my question is, and I think the answer is yes, are these going to be cell shaded? So, think Borderlands style artwork. Because that's how this looks. And I think the leaks that I saw with this sparrow it is going to be cell shaded. Like, it is going to look like it's right out of Borderlands.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And does my offset shader give me the same thing? Do I get that lovely halftone goodness across my armor set?
That's what it appears to be right here.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. Because Bungie, I don't really care about the emote, but if you can give me things that are comic booky, I'm in.
I want to make myself look ridiculous. A cape? Do you get a superhero cape?
Unclear. Maybe that's part of the emote because it's the maximum heart emote.
Oh, so yeah, that might be part of the emote.
Yeah. It does have that emote look to it, like it's not real. So we can be sort of cool, but not entirely cool because our cape isn't real. So yeah, I would like to have pretty comic book style, please and thank you. Yes.
What did Ed Necrobopple say? No capes.
Exactly.
No capes.
Yeah. So how Bungie how get give money get things. Let's see. They have a whole Game2Give article, which I totally glossed over because I was like, "Yep, it's a thing. They'll tell me about it." Game2Give, charity gives money to pick your charitable event that's happened recently. Also, partnering with Make-A-Wish, and it's a good charitable thing. That's Game2Give. It'll run from January 23rd to February 9th. They have the Tiltify page to make a donation, basically same as it's run the last years. Or just any streamer and content creator who's participating in this, which is all of them, we'll have links on their page and we'll direct you where to go. Every dollar counts toward the Bungie Foundation's mission to make the world a better place. They're partnering with over 200 incredible Destiny 2 streamers with epic 24/7 streamathons spanning the entire 2 weeks of Game2Give. They've got rare incentives, amazing stream milestones, and I'm looking for the how do I get the pretty cel-shaded things. So if you want to set up your own campaign, they have a whole Game2Give page. Go there. You can set up your own campaign. If you're a streamer or content creator that has their act together, present company excluded, you can go do that. If you want to share the word, you can follow the Bungie Foundation on their Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and for some of you, TikTok pages. They've got those linked. So exclusive awards await. They're cracking the Emblem Vault open once again. If you missed them the first time, for $7 each, you can get there's a whole list of old emblems. The Fluid Resonance, the Euclidean Theorem, Island Heart, Knees Out, Heart of the Highlander. That's one with the cows on it that everybody should have. Ceresian Lenses, Plaid Pride, Spectral Sea, Suspended Animation, Electromagnon, Eclipsing Keep, and Woven Resilience. And go to Bungie's Game2Give page. They have pictures of all these if you're going, I don't know what any of these are, because I wouldn't either. If you give $25, you can get the Dark Hero emblem, which is very, dark comic book style, red heart, cool icon. That's fun. There we go. So $25, Caped Cruiser, Sparrow, and Offset Shader bundle. So give $25 to charity. Look like a comic book hero. Done. Finished. They also have the $25 maximum heart emote, which if I give you $125, do I get to pick? Because the heart emote is fine, and yes, you do get a cape. They do have an animation of the heart emote. So you get the big heart on your chest with like the EKG line kind of through it, and a cape. After working out through some technical hiccups, lifetime donation incentives will also be available by the end of Game2Give, and retroactive to donations made to the Bungie Foundation campaigns via the donor drive or Tiltify in the past. So if you've given $250 in your lifetime, there's a Covalence emblem set that's just big swirly colors and looks like good fun that you can have. There's also a $777 lifetime donor emblem, the Van der Waals Force, which is gold and blue color schemed, and a $1,500 lifetime emblem for Above and Beyond, which, everything's very heart themed, lots of bright colors. There's also a number of other shaders that I'm not going to go read the rest of, but there's more shaders. You can give money, get shaders. Go to the Game2Give page, and it'll show you where the money's going. It'll tell you what you can get, and you can be a comic book hero. Because who doesn't want to be a comic book hero?
Maybe comic book heroes don't want to be comic book heroes.
Well, too late. That ship has sailed.
Oh, dear.
And so if you give your $25, you can choose either the Maximum Heart or the Cape Crusader and shader. So you can get your Sparrow and shader for one donation, and then different donation for your Maximum Heart if you want to do it that way. But yeah, they've got a whole page on their Tiltify thing. Their goal is $2 million. I assume by this time, tomorrow they'll hit that goal because that's how the Bungie community rolls. And that'll be that. And now it's that time again for some D2 fashion feedback. AKA, here's another list of things that we might do.
Respawn's going to read. Respawn, you're up, my friend.
All right, D2 fashion feedback this week. The fashion doesn't stop with the Festival of the Light voting. We've also got a D2 fashion feedback update this week. The themes this week range from classic styling with Galactic Monarch and Frost King to bold options with cyber streetwear and music festival designs. All right, so cyber streetwear, a high contrast, brightly colored, lightly armored set featuring iconic streetwear elements such as high-top shoes, bandanas, and jewelry. Features integrated comms technology such as holographic displays. That sounds stupid. Okay. I'm getting like 80s Michael Jackson kind of vibes. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with Michael Jackson. Don't start haters. But I'm just talking about like that streetwear, more specifically like the Thriller, that type of 80s streetwear thing. Galactic Monarch, formal armor. Well, look at that. Formal armor adorned with the trappings of cosmic royalty such as robe, crown, high-collared cloaks. Feels more at home in a Senate court than a medieval throne room. Prominent, I don't know how to pronounce it. Epaulettes? That's got to be an English word. What is that word, Demon? That's from your neck of the woods.
Why are you coming to me?
Because didn't all armor start in England? Epaulet, badges and baubles conveying political station. Okay, those are lots of words. Probably has to do with armor, I guess. Sounds fancy as hell.
Let's all learn new words. So, epaulets, a shoulder ornament, especially a fringed strap worn on military uniforms.
Yeah.
So fancy shoulders. Yes. It's a fancy shoulders to have like like a patch with like the bits of fabric
with your rank on it.
Yeah, like bits of fabric coming down. Have you ever seen like a fancy
military? What that is if you've been in the army.
I've heard the military has them all over the place with their fancy shoulders.
Yeah, when you said it the right way, I knew what it was. When I was reading it, I wasn't putting two and two together. Yeah, an epaulet, but it's epaulet. But I was pronouncing it. I like it's French. It's an epaulet. But anyway, liquid metal stealth. That sounds fancy. Reflective metal armor with mercurial texture designed for infiltration missions. Integrated target trackers, sensor jammers, and scanners. Hand-to-hand weapons, specialist gear. That sounds really cool. Very, very Metal Gear 6 right there. Arc Courier. Amplified messenger harnesses the power of arc energy, glowing blue circuitry, Tesla coil armor, core, and lightweight jump pack thrusters. Bruh! I'm thinking of just a guy with a bunch of like Tesla coils like on his legs and arms and this and that and the other, just arcing everywhere. This could be really cool or really stupid. Comic book superhero, sleek armor that references classic comic book silhouettes and color patterns. Each class has an ornate, unique piece core into their, quote, hero identity, i.e. a shield, a helmet, a cape, or a gauntlet. Shield, helmet, cape, gauntlet. There's only 3 classes in Destiny. The shield, you would think, would probably be for the Titan. The cape, clearly the Hunter. Gauntlet, I guess, Warlock. And then we have an extra one just for what exactly? Is this spoilers that we're going to get a 4th class in Destiny? Dun, dun, dun. No, I know. But yeah, it's where they give you 4 symbols, even though there's only 3 classes. And we got Musical Festival. This is a parodies alley. You have Taylor Swift themed. No, I'm joking, guys. Don't click off the podcast. All right, you have Electric Dance Music Festival garb from a far-flung future. Reflective cloths, glowing jewelry, kaleidoscope, fractal artifacts. Might include reference to mixers, equalizers, headphones, turntables, or other DJ equipment. Oh, so it's the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure future, where they actually make all the world love each other.
Yeah.
Frost King. Inspired by the Norse Draugr and other frozen undead, prominent crown carved ice featuring gemstones, fur-lined armor plates with a frozen aura. Very cool. Frost King is always nice in any video game. Celtic Warrior, chainmail, leather braces, elaborate knotwork spiraling across hammered plates, blue war paint that glows vibrantly, could feature horned and or bittered helms. Or you could just make it look like what's his name? Freedom! That guy that was castrated for freedom. Was it William Wallace? You just make him look like William Wallace. That'd be cool. I bet Peroty would wear it.
Mel Gibson.
Well, the guy that Mel Gibson played, yeah.
No, or just Mel Gibson.
Thinking
Because that's what they've done in Scotland. They've got a statue of Mel Gibson as William Wallace.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on.
for him.
Hold on.
So if you're interested in any or all of these, use the hashtag D2FashionFeedback to let us know what you think and give them your thoughts and ideas on, all the social mediums that you have access to.
Okay, it was inspired by Mel Gibson's performance, but it's not Mel Gibson.
It's Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
You played me.
Oh, man, delicious.
No, it's Mel Gibson.
I'm looking at it. It
It's
says
Mel
it was
Gibson,
inspired by
William
him.
Wallace from Braveheart. It's Mel Gibson. It's not a true representation of William Wallace. It's Mel Gibson as William Wallace. It's a statue of Mel Gibson in Scotland.
Let me look further into this.
Statue of Mel Gibson as William Wallace at the Wallace.
Okay, there
whatever.
it is. Yeah, okay. All right.
That
So this
is
website says it is a statue
beautiful.
of. Okay. The other one says it was inspired by, but this one says it actually is.
It is.
Okay.
Why would you not believe me? I tell you these things, they are true things.
Well, you also like to mess with me, so
That's so funny.
better to verify. Anyway,
Learn
that was the
something every
last
day.
one. Was the Celtic Warrior?
Yeah, now it's time for dramatic music. Kell's Fall, our latest exotic mission that you have to play 1,000 times, has a ton going for it. Story beats, conclusion of the Revenant storyline, some amazing conversations between characters, although we still think Aramis was very rude to Varix. And of course, our latest exotic weapon, Slayer's Fang. But many of you have focused on one unique aspect of the mission, the Scorgan. We loved it so much that we have something for the more musically inclined Guardians. So those of you with a fine-tuned ear and a very quick draw, here's the Music of Mercury emblem. We're granting both the Movie of the Week and the Music of Mercury emblem, not only to those of you who make videos of playing the Scorgan starting today, so Thursday, but also those of you who have already invested hours into it. And they have a picture of our buddy Mitch here with, I guess, the emblem that is very Mercury-ish, I guess. It's very like gold and it's very plain. It's very plain. It's got some balls on it. It's plain. I don't know.
Fair enough.
So that's the thing you can have. I was like, where is it? Oh, it's this guy? Okay. And then they have a whole bunch of links to people's favorite outfits from last week. You can go there and look at them if you like. And we have things that are fixed and broken. Because, of course, we do. So now we could go through update 8.1.5.3, or we could just mention the one thing that anybody cares about and move on. What do you think, Night Demon?
One thing and just move on.
He's growing as a person.
So I mean, the one thing really I think that everybody is interested to find out is that, they fixed an issue where audio could cut out during some cinematics. But that's fixed now, so don't worry. You'll have all the audio and all your cinematics. And there's nothing else important to mention in this update at all. That should cover it, right?
They'd already told us. They did already tell us, and we have already covered it, so...
We did.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else in there that you should be worried about at all. They didn't do anything for hunters at all. Not a thing. They didn't fix Ranix Unified by fixing an issue where the Hunter's Shadow Shot super ability could cause the entire dungeon to crash. They didn't fix that. That's definitely not resolved in this. They did not.
Don't go in there, hunters.
Yeah, no, they didn't reduce the number of active servitors that appear when splitting during DPS, and they didn't rebalance boss health values to compensate for the reduced number of servitors. And they certainly did not re-enable Hunter's Shadow Shot super ability in the activity. None of that happened. So, Hunters, you can finally Shadow Shot in the dungeon. They did reduce the number of servitors that he splits into, so it also changes some of your math if you're, running around like a drunken toddler throwing ice crystals everywhere. Each servitor, I think, now has more health to account for the fewer overall number of servitors. So that changes the math on some of the, area damage versus single target damage that you'll need to do to get through that quicker. But now you can Shadow Shot them, and the dungeon probably won't crash on you. So there you go. They finally fixed Shadow Shot in the dungeon.
Yes.
And they've also re-enabled the Baladros Wrath Weavers across the game, too, for the Warlocks. That was also disabled that I forgot about. But I'm sure somebody didn't, so yeah, you can use those now. There's a bunch of other tweaks and things that they already touched on, but yeah, it's over there. If you want to read the whole update, you can do that. We've basically covered all that, but yeah, they finally fixed Shadow Shot. Now what they didn't fix and aren't going to fix is the Slayer's Fang.
Everything else.
You can kill yourself with the Slayer's Fang, get good scrubs, is what Bungie says. We've seen conversations around the Slayer's Fang ability to do self-damage and apply weaken to yourself if you're hit by the ricocheting projectiles. Note, the weaken is only applied when the Nightsworn sight is active, while self-damage always happens. This is intentional.
What's Slayer's Fang again?
That's the new exotic shotgun.
Wait, hold on. You can hurt yourself with the shotgun. The new shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can hurt yourself.
Those are the words I've been saying, yes. And this is intentional.
How?
This is intentional for both gameplay and narrative reasons. And I will now tell you why. A lot of ricochet projectiles or explosives do self-damage. Sleeper Simulant can even kill the user. If you're using a Titan Bubble, it's really
good
fun.
times.
It's a good laser light show. And it's important as a balancing measure. So if you're taking a cheeky shot around the corner or just firing from the hip, the self-damage provides a balance to ensure the high-risk, high-reward usage. On the narrative side, Slayer's Fang is aware of its use as a tool for destruction, and doesn't lend its power to its wielders easily. You may find that if you mishandle the Slayer's Fang, the gun with a mouth for a barrel may just bite back a little. With the ultimate Slayer Baron weapon in your hand, you may not fear dreams nor teeth, but you will want to handle it with care. So, appropriately for both of those goals, it does a little damage plus a short weaken instead of outright killing the player. And as always, they welcome your feedback. So don't kill yourself with your own shotgun, you silly, silly people.
Don't kill yourself with your own shotgun.
Don't do it.
Oh, that's a quote.
Put it on the shirt. Snip it. So, known issues. Hey, Kell's Fall. Only one player in the fire team can receive credit for destroying the illusionary anchor. Players, you have to be Sherpas. You have to guide. You don't get credit. During the boss fight in Kell's Fall, sometimes the portal back to the Revenant plane doesn't open when you multi-phase the boss, leading to a soft lock, keeping with Bungie exotic mission tradition of soft locking bosses. In Kell's Fall, the 4th exotic catalyst quest for the Slayer's Fang shotgun requires the player to defeat enemies with a tonic active, but progress is only counting in Revenant seasonal activities. So, as we said last week, once you have your catalyst, just go into the mission again and just kill things at the beginning of that with a tonic active. Any tonic, it does not matter. You have a variety to choose from that you'll never get through by the end of the season anyway. So, pop a tonic, go into the mission, shoot 20 things, then you're all set. The exotic mission for the Fire Team Finder for Kell's Fall still doesn't show you the different weeks of the mission, so good luck, choose wisely. The Scorgan Melodies Triumph sometimes doesn't track all your melodies, so if you're trying to do that, it may or may not work. Your Slayer's Fang stuns Overload champions as intended, but still does not prevent them from healing, which is unintended. Some major fieldwork dialogue are incorrectly being used at the end of some of the missions. The requirements for the seasonal quest Reborn are too high. The requirements for the seasonal quest Reborn are too high.
Totally makes sense. I don't know why you're questioning it.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. And then in Vesper's Host, sometimes the final boss doesn't spawn, and players are forced to wipe to restart the encounter. And in Vesper's Host, some players cannot complete Step 7 of the Rogue Network quest, as they cannot interact with
I was
open
saying,
the second secret chest.
The dungeon boss just sometimes won't show up. Is that what you said?
Yeah, he doesn't get paid enough. He doesn't like to work some days.
Well, that's fair.
And also, sometimes you just can't touch the second secret chest to get Step 7 of your Rogue Network quest done. Also, if you're unable to complete Step 6 of the Rogue Network quest, you may have already completed the puzzle and just need to claim the collectible. So if you're puzzling and you can't puzzle good, just see if you can get the thing. Maybe that's all you need to do. And then finally, players cannot dunk the nuclear core in the bunker if the Corrupted Puppeteer's white mechanic starts when the core drops in Vesper's Host. So you can use Shadow Shot, but there's a number of things that might still kill you or your run more interesting. You know, it's life. You get some, you lose some. And that's what's broken. That's the highlight of what's fixed. And then we have some of the art of the week and movies of the week and people out doing things. So let's see if they've hidden any more relevant tidbits in the bottom here. Previews of the Horizon, Trials of Osiris revamp, enjoy the Past Is Prologue event, sweet rewards, yes, bento tokens, and yeah. Okay, that's it. Yep, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Oh, good.
So I've got one question for you guys that maybe Night Demon you know. What's the Revenant redress legendary emblem? What does that come from? Because they tweeted this week that they're impressed by our tenacity and Skolas is beginning to fear your approach, and chances for the emblem have been greatly increased. So is that just at the end of the mission? Is that the dungeon? I don't know where that comes from.
Episode Revenant seasonal activities. It can be... Yeah, that's it.
All right. So yeah, if you're trying to get that emblem, you should have a better time getting it, hopefully. See, late 8 thing. That's right. There was one final thing. Where's Rift? I've waited. Where's Rift? Bungie, don't make a weekly challenge
3v3
based on a time schedule that doesn't come around for weeks. What days specifically do I need to play? And on Reddit,
I can tell you.
I
can tell you.
Tell me. You also saw Reddit. Let me see. Tell me. When can I do it?
No, I didn't see Reddit. I can just tell you when it is.
Okay, let's see if you agree with what their current statement is. Let's see if we match.
Week 17, it should be 3v3 Rift, which is the last week of the season.
Well, you and they agree. For those looking to complete the challenge,
Yay!
Rift will be returning during the final week of the season. Asterisk, unless there's a problem with it, in which case, no, we won't, and we'll just auto-complete it for all of you. So yes, they did say it will be returning in the final week of the season, so if you're trying to get your Rift challenge done, you have to play the last week of the season.
But it's
3v3.
Before. It's not in the main 2 playlists.
Listen.
So it's not in Control, and it's not in the Party Relentless playlist, which has Scorch, Supremacy, Mayhem, Relic, Momentum Control, sometimes Clash, and sometimes Rift, but Rift hasn't been around in that playlist since
the Dark Ages.
Week 4 of Echoes.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, not week 4 of Echoes. Week 18 of Echoes, sorry, was the last one. Yeah, week 4, week 13, and week 18 of Echoes, and then it just hasn't appeared in that 6v6 playlist at all. It's been in the 3v3 playlist,
on week 7, week 12, and week 17, and week 2 of this episode. So
there you go. Yeah, so if you're trying to get your riff done, that's when you can get it done. Enjoy. And yeah. That's it. And you basically said go watch Cheese Forever's. Just subscribe. Just watch everything he puts out. It'll be done. And I'll tell you to watch out Fallout plays, Xur in a minute to be like, is Xur worth visiting? Unless you're looking for exotic class items. And I'll let him tell you, because it takes a minute. And usually it's like 58 seconds. And it's lovely. And it's worth it. It's only 56 seconds this week. So see, you got even less time to devote to it. And yeah, there's a shotgun. It's mid. And go run the mission 4 times. That's basically what everyone... The first 3 videos I was like, there's a shotgun. It's mid. You could have it. So I have it. It's in the vault with all the other things that are going to sit there. Anything else people should be watching, Demon? Anything else you've watched besides Cheese Forever? Is anyone else even playing this game besides us? Is it just you and me at this point? Let's be honest. Let's get real.
I think
let's get real close. It's really just the 2 of us here. So I mean, there's nobody else.
That is not true.
So we can do whatever we want
whenever I go to work. So for the next 2 weeks, starting on Tuesday, I will be playing a lot of Destiny.
Nah, just the 2 of us.
Just the 2 of us in there.
Wow.
Just the 2 of us. So yeah, I think this is where we say, thank you to all of our lovely patrons, because they might be playing. They might have gone to patreon.com/TTH and said, you know what? We want to be threatened. We want you to threaten us with a good time, like Zeb Orbit and Renard Kalant said. We want to be an honored dance troupe of the Scarlet KM of Dedicated Wham 64. Phenomenal dancers. You've never seen better dancers in your life. We're going to throw more grenades. With Coderson 105, Fire Squad 688, Basically Assault, Noble, Golden God 1562, and Feral. Our beautiful grenade throwers. And I don't know if they're going to take day 1. We'll see. Deacon's day 1 dungeon team of Dimwit, Gravy Jeff, and Pee-Pee Pipe. They might do it, though. I have faith in them. And I have faith that we'll be back next week to talk more Destiny nonsense with you lovely people. So thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Night Demon. Your Hunters don't want to respond in real life. Nobody knows how Warlocks work. We just guess. You can follow us on YouTube. Follow us there. Go there, hit the button, get all the videos. Just go there. You don't need anything else. Just go to YouTube. YouTube's beautiful. You can email the show to titansandhunter@hotmail.com to give us your thoughts, your opinions, your feedback, and tell us why we're wrong, why we're right. Or, just give us your 2 a.m. shower thoughts. It's fun. Find the show wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on YouTube every week for new episodes, weekly updates, live streams, all the videos where Night Demon says, I'm going to guess based on what Bungie has said, and then it'll be a historical record to see if they actually followed through.
I mean, he was right this time, so...
Yeah, I'm saying every week it's a new game. Just like every week you can go to twotitansandahunter.com to get all the show notes, all the things we link to, all the articles we talk about. If we've talked about it, there's a link there. You can follow it. You can play along at home with our exciting home game. And if you say, we like what you do, you guys are silly, patreon.com/TTH or coffee.com/twotitansandahunter to say, we like you, here's some dollars, here's some yen, here's some, I don't know, pieces of currency in your country. Maybe it's a euro, maybe it's a pound, who really knows? And if you want to listen to us desperately try to read words and stumble over them in the most hilarious of ways, twitch.tv/no one responds in real life, to see what that lovely man's up to, and you can give him crap in the comments because, someone needs to. Or give him your love and affection. Tell him he's doing great. Tell him his computer does not sound like a wind turbine. And you can go to twitch.tv/twotitansandhunter, and who knows what'll be there. Maybe there'll be a thing, maybe there won't be. There's no way to know. Go there, follow us, we'll follow you. We'll stand over there, watch you as you sleep, make sure you're safe, just like Santa Claus. A benevolent, kind Santa Claus. Until next week, tell the people goodbye.
Cheerio.
Loud noises. Deuces. La Dividere. Sayonara. That's all I got.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.